My 3 babies, all in a row.
Hey, it's Janelle and welcome to the first reading vlog of November. I'm so freaking stoked, man. November is my second favorite month of the year. First is March because March is a blend of late summer, early autumn, and that just makes for perfect weather. If I could have a year of Marches, I'd be so happy. But it is what it is. I live in a seasonal place. But November is pretty rad as well. So I'm just really excited. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling energized. And without much further ado, let me get into the vlog. So this one is a mood reading vlog. I have already read all the books. As I mentioned previously, I have decided that I will be doing my tarot pulls in my mood reading to pick one book from the tarot. So this week I did use the slow tarot. And the card I pulled was a bonus card. So this is Atonement. I hope that you can see it. It's a beautiful, beautiful artwork. I find this deck absolutely stunning. So Atonement is a bonus card. So the prompt for bonus cards, a book of my choice. So November was already starting off very generously. It's like, hey babes, just pick something you want to read. I'm like, okay, cool. So the book that I chose for my choice was These Deathless Bones by Cassandra Core, but I will talk about it later because I'm doing it in order of, oh, hey Sylvie, hey Sylvie. My least favorite to my most favorite, you beautiful girl. So I'll just start with the cookbook actually. So I did pick up The Mediterranean Cook, A Year of Seasonal Eating by Many Valley. So I'll show you some of the graphics so you can see. The grocery portion did remind me of my, and all the Greek supermarkets they would go to. There's not a lot of them anymore, but there did used to be like delis and stuff. So there are pictures for everything, which is great. I think the pictures are lovely. I'm going to be honest, overall, there was not a lot of stuff that really captured my interest because a lot of it is just food I grew up with and that I already cook and eat, and I'm always looking for sort of new things. There are twists on the recipes in here, as in it's not all traditional fare. Some of it, I think, definitely has been zhuzhed up with some modernism. There's, Greek food, Italian food, maybe some Maltese, maybe some French in here. So it's a bit more European in flavor. But then again, like, say this is one, potato salad with samphire. I don't feel like samphire was widely used, unless I'm incorrect, in Mediterranean cooking. I feel like that's definitely sort of a more modern thing, or let's use this. But there's a few in here that I might have a go. But yeah, like I said, I'm just looking through. It's not helpful for you. It's not one I would buy, but I think it's a decent cookbook, especially I think perhaps if you have never cooked Mediterranean food before, then this is an excellent starting place. A lot of the recipes are very simple and easy to cook. And like I said, there's photographs to help you. So I think this is great for people that are just dipping their toes into Mediterranean cooking. But as I am Mediterranean, it's a bit too old hat for me. Sorry guys, I'm gonna have to put my glasses on because I was struggling to see and I don't want to eye strain myself today. But do let me know if the glare does bother other people like it does bother me, and I won't do it in the future. But for now, we're just gonna make do. So the next book that I picked up was called A Marriage of Undead Convenience by Stephanie Burgess. So this is a fantasy romance historical novella. It's Regency era. And you have a character named Margaret who has been forced into this sort of marriage of convenience with a vampire, and it gets straight into the novel. It opens up with her sort of berating her new husband about his lack of quality tea in the house, and then discovering that she was not only coerced, but he was coerced into the marriage, and they've both been swindled by their family and financial advisors. Something was exchanged in this marriage of convenience, a family relic of the vampires that has supernatural power, and that just happened to be the subject of Margaret's thesis and what she specialized in her university studies. Look, the issue I had with this book was Margaret. She was annoying, really annoying and stupid. She was so obsessed with, sorry, one sec. Oh, it makes me feel awful when I sneeze. Margaret, as I was saying, Margaret pins a lot of her, I guess, self-worth and self-esteem and persona on the fact that she's intelligent and she's university educated, and the men don't acknowledge her brilliance, and there is no one more learned about these particular topics than her. And I just found her really condescending. The way she treated her husband was incredibly off-putting. She was really rude and arrogant and insensitive. So I didn't like her. And then this thing happens later in the book where her husband is trying to tell her basically, hey, stop, you're making a mistake. And she just brushes him off, and her arrogance and her ego really fuck things up. And her husband just forgives her and says it's okay. No, it's not okay, bitch. Your stupidity ruined everything. And I don't think it's forgivable. What happened? If I was her husband, I'd be like, we're getting divorced. Ta-ta, off you go. Thanks for nothing, ho. So I gave it a 3. Like I said, I would have enjoyed it more if I had liked Margaret's character, but I did not. I can see though that I think if you enjoyed Emily Wilde's Encyclopedia of Fairies or that one by Olivia Atwater, I feel like it's called Half Something. I'll put a picture up. You might enjoy this. It's of a similar vein. The next book I picked up was The Haunting of Velkwood by Gwendolyn Kist. So this is a queer paranormal horror mystery kind of book. Basically, you have One Division's Dome meets Practical Magic's hexes. And you've got a street that 3 girls left, but everybody else was trapped in and became ghosts, and nobody else in the world can enter this street. It's sort of frozen in time and it has an invisible barrier. You're slowly discovering that the girls may be partly responsible for this paranormal event. So the story pretty much is what I enjoyed the most, the plot. That's what kept me reading. I was invested to finding out what's going on, what happened, it got me hooked. However, the characters to me felt very flat, and the queer romance in this was tepid and dull. And the bit that irked me is that 2 of the girls were cowards, and if they had only taken responsibility for the part that they played, countless other innocent people would not have had to suffer. The civilian casualties in this was very high, very high. The cover-up just came at the cost of too many, and that did piss me off because it then turned me against the women and the main characters in this book. There was also this very weird dynamic that was occurring between the main character and the male paranormal researcher guy. I just found his whole part in this bizarre and pointless. I'm not sure why he was in there. Were they trying to set up a love triangle, but they didn't? I don't know. So yeah, the way it wrapped up, look, it's okay. I think it still leaves things unsolved. You don't really get the reasons why a lot of it happened and how it worked. Really, no, don't play with that. That's not for you. That's not for you. This is a 3 and Bluebell, cats and ribbons. This is a 3.25, but I'm rounding it down. Hey babes. I'm rounding it down to a 3. The next book that I picked up is Psychedelics, A Visual Odyssey by Erica Dyke or Dick. I'm uncertain as to which. This is a full color book. It's got beautiful imagery. For instance, here we have a picture in ancient Egypt of a woman holding a basket of mushrooms, which I thought was super cool. So this book takes a look at psychedelics and their role in counterculture, in mythology, in history, in medicine, in media, which I thought was really interesting. They also talk about people in particular who were sort of psychonauts or responsible for bringing psychedelics more into the mainstream. So here we've got Aldous Huxley. So you get to learn about certain historical figures. Oh, and I have to talk to, it's mostly about psychedelics, but some other drugs are mentioned, mostly in regards to how they were used medicinally at a certain point in time, which I found really interesting. So for instance, here you have cocaine tooth drops for your children's toothaches. Help them get some nummy gummies going on, I guess. And then this one here, I love this, I think, advertisement for cocaine something or other. It's by Alphonse Musha, who is an artist. And I'm like, oh, that is absolutely stunning. It'd be great if a lot of companies hired artists to do their advertisements, because I think that's stunning. Cocaine was in everything, I guess. But yes, so I really enjoyed this. It's easy to read. It doesn't go too in depth into anything. And there was a lot about this guy, Ken Kesey, who did a study with the government in which he did just a lot of random drug experiments. So I think they just pumped him full of psilocybin, LSD, mescaline, psychoactive substances, including amphetamines, ditran, and the belladonna plant. But he ended up like forming some kind of bus. What would they call the Merry something? Merry pranksters. But yeah, there was a lot of stuff obviously about the 70s in here as well, about wars. And yeah, I thought it really, really interesting. So a lot of art in here, and their association with psilocybin. So, you know, music, art, film. Oh, I love this. So this is a page of acid tabs. So have a look and see which one is your favorite. But yeah, this was really enjoyable. So Manson's in there, but I don't want to talk about him. I'll probably give this a 4 stars. So I had a fun time. I learned some new things, and yeah, I got to look at some pretty pictures. So that was that one. And then I'll take these off because I'm down to my last one. And then I picked up these, oh my God, I've already forgotten the name. These Deathless Bones by Cassandra Core. So this is a very itty bitty novella that's horror and dark fantasy. You have a stepmommy who is a bone witch, and she has a horrid, nasty stepson whom she tried to love. She really did. But he was just too vile a being to be adored. And she finally reaches a point where it's time this kid paid his comeuppance. It's time retribution was served. It's time for justice. And she does it. I can't say anything. It's such a short book, so I don't want to talk anymore about what actually happens in this. But let's just say I wanted this child, this absolute waste of space, to die as painfully as possible. This is the only time I think I have rooted for the evil stepmother and wanted a kid to be massacred violently. For such a short book, it definitely got me riled up and invested in a child's death. Trigger warning, massive trigger warning for a lot of animal death and cruelty. Okay, so there is that. But like I said, I feel okay about it because of the way it ended. I do still feel it ended very abruptly, and I wanted more. I was like, wait, what? You ending it there? What do you mean, son? But it's okay. It was just, it's just some short little story, so it's fine. I gave it a 4 stars, and that sums up my week. It's not even a week. It was a couple of days of mood reading. I am reading a lot, and I've just accepted it. I've accepted it. At this point, we're still not into full warm weather. You can tell by my outfit today. It's cold. It's raining. So we've still got the chilly weather happening. So I'm still not going out that much yet. And I guess the more I read, the more videos I can produce for you guys. So it's a win situation. I've decided the way that I'm going to structure my posting from now on is mood reading vlog, themed vlog, mood reading, themed. I think that's fun. It keeps it fresh for me as well. I choose what I really feel in the mood for, and then I push myself out of my comfort zone and try something that's centered around a theme. I've also trying out just doing 5 books. I don't know why I did double the hands there. 5, Chanel. 5 books per vlog, so I don't have these massively long vlogs. They were all getting to be about 40 minutes, and I think that's a bit much, especially for non-themed vlogs. So we'll see how we go with the 5 per video. And with that, I'm going to leave you with some footage of me going out today. So I've just got to head to the library to pick up my reserves. I won't bother filming that because it's just a little lounge and I'm just going in there to grab books. It's a bit boring. But I also am taking myself out to lunch today. So I will film that. Going into a suburb, like an actual proper legit sleepy suburb. I thought I do mostly go to the CBD and then the fringe suburbs around the CBD. But I thought let's see some more suburban stuff, and then maybe there's a hidden treasure there that only the locals know about. So I'm going to do that, and otherwise I will leave you there. Until next time, stay wild, Star Child. That's what I'm saying. Speak.